Coming up on this week's edition of MIAA 360, we had a chance to catch up with co-founder and CEO of BlueFrame Technology, Ben Kant. We also had a chance to catch up with former Southwest Baptist high jumper Natalie O'Keefe, who was recently named as a top 30 honoree and finalist for 2017 NCAA Woman of the Year. Plus, we catch up with Amber Feldman, Associate Commissioner of the MIAA, to discuss the MIAA Women in Sports Forum. All of that and more on this week's edition of the MIAA 360.
All right, welcome into MIAA 360 here with Natalie O'Keefe, former Southwest Baptist jumper. Natalie, you were a two-time Ken B. Jones Award winner. You were the third woman to be a two-timer and the fourth overall. How amazing is that accomplishment looking back on it?
Yeah, I feel really blessed and humbled to receive it twice. It was a really neat experience for me and my family and my school and coaches. It was really neat.
And, you know, obviously with being a Ken B. Jones Award winner, not only are you able to get it done on the track, or in this case in jumping, but you're also able to get it done in the classroom. And certainly being a student athlete is no small feat whatsoever. So what were you able to do to be very successful in both assets?
Yeah, my professors were wonderful in helping me work around my athletic schedule, understanding when I couldn't make it to class, and they really worked hard for me to be able to make up the work that I would miss by scheduling individual meetings to catch up on whatever I missed while I was competing.
Again, please be joined by Natalie O'Keefe, former high jumper for Southwest Baptist University. You were a two-time national champion in indoor. Tell us about those experiences of being a national champion and being able to repeat.
Yeah, so this past year, our track theme verse was Proverbs 16:3, and it was, commit to the Lord whatever you're doing, and He'll establish your paths. I really believe the Lord's given me a passion for athletics and specifically high jumping, and also, what's going on, like art. I studied art here. And so just by trying to do my best in the things that I feel like I had natural ability, God just blessed that, and it led to a lot of really neat opportunities.
Certainly one of those great opportunities just announced not too long ago. You were a top 30 for the 2017 NCAA Woman of the Year Award. Tell us how you found out about it and how excited you are to be put into the top 30 of all the student-athlete women out there in all divisions.
Yeah, I found out about it this summer, and our Jeff Weslow, who works here in athletics, told me that he was, putting my name in for SBU, and I was excited, but I kind of knew it was a long shot. And then when I found out I had made it to the top 30, I was, it was an exciting thing.
Absolutely, and we know that at least your athletic career is done at SBU, but it sounds to me like you're still around there in Bolivar, right?
Yeah, I'm here in Bolivar. I'm working in admissions now for Southwest Baptist University. I started in July, and I'm really excited. Our travel season comes up in September, and I'm excited for this new adventure.
I can only imagine you're still going to be around the program very much, even though obviously you've got a new title there at the university.
Yeah, we have a new high jumper from Nixa, Missouri, and I'm really excited for her. I was just high jumping for the past couple years by myself, and so I want to be around for her so that she's not, practicing by herself all the time.
And certainly, obviously being somebody of a mentor to some of these younger women, what's the best piece of advice that you can give them to be able to not only get it done on the track, but also get it done in the classroom as well?
Just managing your time well and doing your best in all the opportunities that you're given. I think if you do that, you're setting yourself up for success.
Natalie O'Keefe joining us, former Southwest Baptist jumper. Natalie, thank you for the time. We appreciate it, and best of luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
We've got our heads in the game,
our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
All right, we're pleased to be joined right now with co-founder and CEO of BlueFrame Technology, Ben Kant. Ben, thank you so much for joining us. And just to get us going, tell us a little bit about BlueFrame Technology and the history behind it.
First, thank you for having me, and appreciate the opportunity to kind of tell you guys about the new partnership with BlueFrame and the MIAA. BlueFrame started out in the summer of 2015. My business partner, Darren Brown, and myself had an opportunity to acquire some assets from a company that we had previously worked at. And so we had a deep understanding of streaming technology. And as we surveyed the landscape for other competitors, we really felt like there was a void in the type of relationship that we built with the MIAA, where it's a partnership where the provider is really focused on the technology, delivering high quality technology, both for the producers of the content as well as the end viewer themselves. And so the required partnership there, includes the MIAA in this case, really delivering high quality content, content that people are interested in, and then BlueFrame providing the tools for those organizations to create more high quality content as well as to distribute it effectively to end viewers. And so we kind of saw that as our opportunity, and 2 years in now, we're really starting to see the fruits of those labors. So pretty excited about all the opportunities at hand, including kicking off with the MIAA.
Ben, you just mentioned a little bit about the MIAA. Talk about that partnership and how that got started.
Yeah, it's a good question. I remember probably about 9 months ago now, Larry called into the office, and I was actually getting ready to leave for the evening, and that was not the case. Larry kept me on the line for about 2 hours, and we kind of discussed some of our existing relationships with specifically the other Division II conferences, and so he had gotten wind of what we were doing. And had an opportunity to see what we're doing specifically with the GLVC and how we'd help them roll out their network, and some of the new things that we were doing, not only from creating better content more cost effectively in a mobile fashion with some of the tools that we provide, as well as from distributing that content. And we'll talk a little bit about the TV applications in here in just a minute, and some of the other new initiatives that we have going on.
You mentioned about some of those apps like Roku and an Apple TV. How do those enhance the viewing opportunities for people at home?
Tons. Yeah, it's a really good question. I went kind of looking for some new data today to see how things have been changing, and the trends that we see, and the reason that we went after supporting so many different devices was Roku was very much a leader in the industry. They were out early. That was a company that was spun out of Netflix, actually, and so they had made their first big splash in streaming media devices. They were the first out there, have a huge market share lead as of this time last year. I think they had about 50% of the installs, but we've seen some of the other technology providers in this industry really catch up, and so that specifically being about this time 2 years ago, Apple released their first device that allowed third-party developers such as BlueFrame to develop applications like the MIAA application that we've rolled out. So Apple's a big player now. Amazon Fire TV has become a really, really big player. In fact, they're now second in the market. Apple TV is actually fourth. And then the other one that we support is Android TV. And Android TV is more of a newcomer, but they have a very mature platform given their history in mobile development. And I'm sure they're going to make a big run at it, just from a standpoint of they're starting to get major manufacturers like Sony on board to distribute their operating system with all their televisions. And so we see all four of those being very viable players, and all of them very entrenched and dedicated technology providers. And so it's really important to get the support across all the platforms that are available out there. And we have ambitions to support others as we move forward as well.
It seems like nowadays consuming content on the go is certainly how everybody is trying to view things nowadays. What does the future look like for this industry?
Yeah, so I think there's lots of new in-viewer experiences to explore. I'll tell you, the next thing for BlueFrame and the MIAA which is in the relatively short run, BlueFrame made a very conscious effort that we said, hey, we can deliver content to mobile devices through the web, and we're going to focus on these new emerging technologies and TV applications, and so we made a dedicated effort towards that last year, and I think what we are seeing is a strong preference for people not to just view content on mobile web, but through native mobile applications, and there's lots of benefits that come through that. And so we've rolled out our first suite of mobile applications for some of our clients, and some of the features that we see coming in the near term for the MIAA include being able to listen in an audio-only background mode. So if you're on the road and you want to sync your phone with your car headset, you can do that, and you can listen. Have a whole new way to distribute content that the MIAA is already making. So we see that as a neat feature. We see opportunities in things like being able to engage people with push notifications, so be able to notify fans of when new events are occurring, and things come up that are relevant to the MIAA fan base. So lots of new features that we can enable with a native application is an immediate near-term sort of deliverable. And then there's lots of new technologies that BlueFrame is evaluating as we move forward. One of the new announcements for BlueFrame over the last couple of weeks has been that we've joined in with a major technology provider in Wowza as being a part of the SRT Alliance. Very, very deep technical subject, but at a high level, it enables better connectivity at subject, lower quality internet connection areas, as well as providing better performance for low latency streaming. And so we're kind of starting to set the building blocks in place in order to go tackle latency in our pipeline, that sort of thing, to get people a higher quality video stream at a lower delay. So those are some of the new technology initiatives, both for the MIAA and for BlueFrame, and a number of things also are kind of out on the horizon with regards to new ways to engage with content for end viewers, but not baked enough to really talk about yet.
Co-founder and CEO, BlueFrame Technology, Ben Kant. Ben, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Here are a few tips that can help. Talk to your friends honestly and openly about sexual assault.
Don't be a bystander. If you see something, intervene in any way you can.
Be direct. Ask someone who looks like they may need help if they're okay.
It's on us! All right, welcome back into MIAA 360. Please be joined right now with Associate Commissioner of the MIAA, Anmer Feldman. Big event coming up for you guys on November 11th, Women in Sports Forum. It's the inaugural one with the MIAA. How did you guys come about this event?
We actually really got the idea from a couple other leagues that are doing the same thing. Mike Racy, our new commissioner, he thought this was something that we could get involved with and be successful at. So we're gonna take the ball with it and have our first one here in November, and hopefully we'll make this an annual thing and put this on for girls and women in the college and high school ranks here in Kansas City and maybe the expanded area, and make this something that people want to go to every year.
Now, when people come out on November 11th to the Kauffman Convention Center, what can they expect?
It's really going to be kind of a half-day long event where they get to see panelists from multiple areas of the sports industry, talk amongst themselves, talk to the participants, and really let them know how they got to where they're at today, how they broke into their areas of expertise, and really give advice to those registrants that are there, and maybe help set a path that they'll be able to follow in their footsteps as well.
Now, registration has already begun now, but is there a registration date cutoff, or how can people be able to come out to the event on November 11th?
We really don't have a cutoff, but we do have limited space. So once we kind of get closer to the space that we're limiting it to about 150 registrants. And so we'll see how registration goes, and hopefully we fill up quickly. We'll kind of let people know how that's going if it starts to get a little tight. But registration is open. They can sign up right now, and we encourage you to do it and not wait in case space fills up quickly.
Thanks again to Associate Commissioner of the MIAA, Anne Feldman, for joining us for MIAA Women in Sports Forum coming up on November 11th at the Kauffman Convention Center. And it looks like that's about all the time we have for this week's episode of MIAA 360. Broadcasting from inside the MIAA Network studios, I'm Jason Ketz. And until next time, bring your A game.